Hey, what's up guys, this is Astranox. We got the patch notes here and I have 15 reasons why you should pull for Mewi or not pull for her. So let's go down here first and I'll talk about her multipliers, I'll talk about her stats, and I'll give you those reasons why you should or maybe you should not pull for her. So she's an Earth warrior Virgo star sign. You could expect the company to release fire heroes fairly soon. Start releasing fire heroes, but we'll see. So her skills, let me start with skill number 3. This is 5 turn cooldown, 4 turn cooldown after skill ups, and she's putting attack buff on the whole team for 3 turns. That's actually very good. She has 115 base speed, which is also very good. She could be your opener. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes. So she's got 1039 attack. She has the same stats as Judge Kisei because same star sign and class. So 1039 attack, 5340 health, 617 defense, 27% critical hit chance, and 18% effectiveness. The stats are actually they're pretty good. The speed especially, you're getting some effectiveness, which is definitely very welcome. So yeah. Now, if you're still not sure about this hero, I will be pulling for Mewi. I don't know if I'm even pronouncing her name right. So this hero, I'll pull her on account number 2. And I do have MolaGoras, and I'll talk about skilling her up in a few minutes as well. So don't pull until you see her in action if you're like on the fence. But even if not, if you want to pull for this hero, I'm doing my showcases pretty fast. So just have a bit of patience and you'll see her in action. So skill number 3, attacks all. She's got 2 AoEs, skills that attack the whole team, which is good or bad depending on who you're actually fighting and how your luck is. So AoE attack dispels 2 buffs and then grants attack buff for the whole team for 3 turns. 3 turn, very nice. It dispels only 2 buffs, which is like if you're fighting a team with a Fallen Cecilia, that means barrier and immunity is going off. Skill number 2 calls upon a tamed monster to attack all enemies with A. This is actually before skill up, so it's actually going to be 50 because you got 15% effect increase from the skill ups. So at +3 this is happening. 50% chance to each to inflict 2 bleeding effects for 2 turns. Bleeding is actually based on 30% of your attack and it penetrates 70% of the target's defense. So in terms of like raw damage from this thing, it's not gonna be anything crazy unless you're building crazy attack on her. She will have the attack buff, but still you can't rely on that to sort of like burst down anyone in PvP with bleeding effects unless you're gonna be using Baiken or you're gonna be pairing her with Baiken, so that could be extra damage for Baiken. And you've got an 80% chance to stun for 1 turn. So she is Earth, and of course, if you're fighting against fire, you always have that elemental disadvantage, which means a 50% chance to just miss your attack. So the fire hero will evade. That means you're not landing any debuffs. You're doing normal damage, which is based on, I believe, is it 70 or 80% of your attack. Anyways, it's definitely not going to hit hard at all, and your debuffs are not going to be landing if you are missing. So there's that to take into account. But it is nonetheless 80% chance to stun for 1 turn. This thing has a 4 turn cooldown, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. But the problem I see is that it's double AoE attacks. So what happens with double AoE attacks when you don't have a mechanic that doesn't get countered? Like let's say a Faithless Lytica, when she uses skill 2, cannot counter that unless you're giving souls to Seaside Bellona and she's at 5 focus and she does counter, but it's a different mechanic. So that means counter set, Elbrus Ritual Sword, or counter just straight up built into the hero will be problematic. And I see bleeding effects there. Champion Zerato, that's another problem there. So yeah, let me move on to skill number 1. Attacks with a whip with a 75% chance after skill ups to inflict a random debuff for 1 turn. It's random, so it could be good or bad. These debuffs are actually very good. They are, where are they? Oh, they're not here. Well, thankfully I wrote them down here, down my list. Let me find them. Where are those debuffs? So she has defense break, she's got silence, unhealable, and attack down, attack break. So these debuffs are actually quite powerful, especially defense break and silence. This is definitely a game changer, and even unhealable can help a lot. Attack break, if you're hitting that on a damage dealer, is especially useful. So what I see here is win conditions in a long drawn out fight in, let's say, World Arena, whatever, Guild War. That debuff that you're going to be landing could be the winning condition. The win condition could be based on that debuff, because you might need that extra burst damage against some hero that is tanky. I don't know, you want to take out this healer or whatever. You land a defense break, and then you can burst it down. Or maybe the unhealable. Or you land a silence on a key hero and they can't use their skill. It is random, not something you can rely upon, but it is there nonetheless, and it could be a win condition in quite a few battles with this hero. The Soul Burn is increased chance to 100% and inflicts a random debuff for 2 turns. So in long battles, you might have a bunch of souls, especially if you lost someone on your team that usually uses souls. Anyways, yeah, she's gonna be able to soul burn that, and longer debuff. So especially if you land something that is very dangerous, like a silence for 2 turns, yeah, definitely a game changer if that does happen. Let's actually move on here in the patch notes before I continue with my list of 15 reasons, because I have quite a few things to talk about this hero. So this artifact that is paired with her artifact, Circus Fantasia, well, it is actually pretty good value right there. This is like a cursed compass for warrior that loses value every time you go. So maxed out, it is 50% effectiveness at the start of the battle, and the effect decreases by 5% every time the caster attacks, down to 25%. So you will still have that 25%, which is great in a long battle. I mean, not great, but it's something, right? And usually you need that effectiveness, especially at the start of the battle. Things need to happen on turn 1, turn 2, because games are won on turn 1 and on turn 2, especially on turn 1. So drop rate up, of course. Special side story preview. So this is not this week. It's actually going to be whenever they say it is. This is the schedule here. No. Okay, Powder of Knowledge. This could be the week after. Does it even say? Am I blind? What's up with this? What's up with this? Whatever. Okay. Let's see. Powder of Knowledge. This is pretty insane. An insane rotation, man. We got Rihanna and Luciella, an artifact that did it just never show up. I think I was told it never shown up in the powder shop before. Spirit's Bread. That one, I've been told it never showed up in the powder shop. So you got Rihanna and Luciella, Spirit's Bread, Rod of Amaryllis, Song of Stars. Like some artifacts that are very sought after, all at the same time. And we had Rihanna and Luciella on the banner with haste, but that was an obvious bait. Dust Devil, Eternius, Elspeth, Steadfast, Gatekeeper. Yeah, these 5-star artifacts are actually very good. And Spirit's Breath, that means you can, that means with auxiliary lots, you can just use that non-stop, his skill number 2, which is completely insane. Let's move back to Mewi. So, okay, things I want to talk about her is, let's see here. You should be saving your bookmarks for the next limited hero if you're low. That is quite obvious. The thing is, there are rumors that there might be a limited summer hero coming soon. We'll have to wait and see, to be honest, but To be on the safe side, she's not limited, so you might be pulling her later down the line if you luck out, daily summon, whatever, doing some Covenant summons randomly, using a 4 to 5 star summoning ticket. It could just happen. You could just pull this hero. And you might not actually need a hero with her skill set. Like, she's very versatile with these skills. Very, very versatile hero. But she's like, yeah, she might maybe not fit your roster. You don't see the synergy with the rest of your roster. So these are reasons that you might not want to pull for her because of that. And of course, one of the big one is that you might not have the MolaGoras. That is pretty obvious. But she is, to me, a support hero. She's a support hero. That means you don't need to go crazy with the skill ups. Let's just look at what you need to skill up on this hero. To be honest, like skill number 3, that's a no-brainer. You need to reach +3 unless your battles are going to be ending real quick. So get that -1 turn cooldown and you're pretty much done with this skill. Now skill number 2, you need to get the effect chance increase. So that means +3. What I'm seeing on heroes is that when they have 5 skill up and you want to do the first 3 of them, the first 3 cost a MolaGora each. So basically skill 3 is 3 Mola, skill 2 is 3 Mola. That's it. You could be done with this hero with 6 MolaGora, which is pretty nice. If you want to skill up skill number 1 though and get the effect chance, that's another additional 3 MolaGora. I mean, don't quote me on that. It's not 100% set in stone. That's what the cost will be. But I think from what I've been seeing, this seems to be the case. Between 6 to 9 MolaGora if you want that skill 1, enhanced. For a support role, should be enough. Should be enough. In terms of damage dealer, well, her multipliers, let me talk about that. Skill 1 is 187%, which is the usual. She's got 30% damage increase from skill ups. So yes, if you do want damage, of course skill ups are very, very useful for that. But I don't see this hero as a true like damage dealer. She does have 2 AoEs, but with her base attack, to be honest, any hero, you have to understand that any hero in the game could be made into a damage dealer with the proper setup. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're going to be applying Defense Break, then it's very easy for pretty much any hero in the game to deal some crazy damage. So skill number 2 has a multiplier of 168%, which is okay. 30% damage increase from skill ups. Skill number 3 has 177% multiplier and 35% damage from skill ups. So yeah, she could theoretically, yes, I kind of got it there. You could use her as a damage dealer. Will I try it? Well, on my account number 2, I don't quite have the setup for if you really want to cleave with her and maybe you're relying on her damage, on her dispel for taking off the immunity, then you need someone to defense break. So that means your damage is going to come in from skill number 2. That means you need to have high speed for her to go first. That means you're losing stats that could be invested into crit damage, attack, crit chance. So yeah. Anyways, let's talk about some other stuff here. I don't think she should be built as a damage dealer personally. But her kit is very versatile. Like a lot of stuff is going on in there. She's a warrior. Again, what's up with that? Warrior, Virgo, star sign, same stats as Judge Kisei. What do you need for awakening this hero? You need Eternal Forest Dust, 15 of those. You need a Demon Blood Gem, 10 of those. And for skill ups, let's assume you're trying to plus 15 this hero. Then you will need a grand total of 30 Flame of Soul. Give or take, this is like what is required on Judge Kisei. It could vary just a bit. Demon Blood Gem, you need 7 of those. It could be 6 instead of 7. Flame of Soul could be a bit less or a bit more. For MolaGora plus 15 skill ups, that's 33 of them. That is a ton of them. You only need 6 MolaGora, like I said, if you want to skill up 1 and 2 for a support, and you only need 6 Flame of Soul for that. So that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. If you want to do skill 1 as well, that could be an additional, maybe an additional 3 Flame of Soul or something like that. Maybe you need 10. So not bad. Her cooldowns are not bad. 4 turns on skill 3 and 4 turns as well on skill 2. That's nice. I mean, skill 3 after skill ups, of course. So a lot of stuff is actually going on this hero. Like I said, the 3-turn attack buff with a 4-turn cooldown is pretty sweet. So that hero could be that hero in your roster where you need that 3-turn attack buff for, let's say, Banshee one-shot. This could be the hero for that, I guess. But then if you're going for that, might as well just go with Kizuna AI. She does 3-turn attack buff as well, by the way. Maybe you need that extra bit of damage for the one-shot, but I mean, that's not a good reason to pull for this hero just for Banshee one-shot. It doesn't make sense to me. The crit chance memory imprint on this hero for the team beside herself has great value. Crit chance memory imprint is a rare one, and it has great value because you're getting more compared to another type of memory imprint, like because a roll of crit chance is 5% on item level 85 versus attack percentage is 8%. So yes, you end up with more value because of that. Dual attack self memory imprint, that is quite interesting. I believe it was 5% dual attack increase for herself with her self memory imprint at triple S. So she's got 2 AoEs. She might be killed early on from counter attacks, which is something I talked about before. And to be honest, like, she's quite stat hungry. Like, you need to build her with high speed if you want to have this thing. If you're going first to have the dispel and then the setup of the attack buff for your team, then that means she's going for high speed. And then she needs high effectiveness so she can sort of like be relied upon with the dispel. So you've got speed and effectiveness. That's 2 stats already. That could be enough already. But then you need to worry about survival. What about her health and her defense? Now you got 4 things to worry about. And if she's using skill 3 and she get counter attacked by like a Charles that's skill 1 and to skill 2 posture correction, then she's out of the game. She's pretty much dead at that point with the amount of health she has and defense. I think she could be out of the game from well-geared Charles. So yeah, that's just after using skill 1, and she won't be able to do much else. She's down. She's gone. So yeah, something to keep in mind. She, like I said, she's very stat hungry. If you want to use her kit and have good survival, that was one of my pointer. Debuffs, AoE, wait, what is this? Debuffs are not easy to land with the 15% innate resist. That is a problem in the game. 15% innate resist, no matter what, it's happening unless you got the soul burn that ignores effect resistance, which is not the case. Her soul burn's on skill 1. She's not a bazaar. She's not a bazaar to be relied upon for dispelling, and it's only dispelling 2 buffs. So yes, on turn 1 it's great, but what happens after? The battle drags on. Maybe they have a bunch of buffs now. Well, you can only remove 2. So yeah, keep that in mind. But still, she brings a lot to the team with her skills, her skill set. So, and there's also elemental disadvantage to worry about, right? 50% chance of the fire hero to evade your attack. And these are attacks, they deal damage. That means you will have to go through the resist check. You have to go through the elemental disadvantage check. So yes, it's not like a Falconer Cleary using skill 3, provoke defense break, and you can use that versus fire as being when you're earth. It doesn't deal damage. That works for Falconer Cleary, but in this case, and it cannot be evaded. But when you deal damage, it can be evaded. If they have high evasion, if you are at elemental disadvantage, then these are drawbacks to her kit. Well, to the whole hero. She can work well in PvE, also in future tough content. Because, well, she's got the spell of 2 buffs, so that's pretty nice for PvE. You've got the attack buff for 3 turns, also very nice. Some damage to assist. Maybe that damage will help you take out, I don't know, a skill nullifier or whatever. Now, you also have, of course, the bleeding could be something. It could be a protection to, let's say there's a cleanser on the enemy team that can only remove like 1 debuff. Let's say that's like Angelica Montmorency. She will be, because bleeds will be the first 1 or 2 debuff, depending if you land 1 or 2. They will be protecting that stun. So they will be taken off before the stun. So yeah, they act as a protection on top of being, on top of doing some damage, I guess. And I wrote here, yeah, she's got a Dispel and AoE stun. It would help in tough content, like let's say Automated Tower if they release like hard mode later on. Stuns are very, very strong. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. So, I mean, it's good. But if it would be on a 3-turn cooldown, it'd be, of course, better. And she doesn't have like a skill that grants her another turn, so she would like reduce the cooldown easier like that, or a soul burn that grants her an extra turn. What else? Bleed debuffs from skill 2 can protect the stun debuff. I talked about that already. Another Earth hero, yes, of course. Expect new fire heroes to be released fairly soon afterward. Yes, it is to be expected. Release a bunch of Earth, then counter them with some fire heroes, and we just start all over again. Ice, Earth, Fire, Ice, Earth, Fire. But they've been releasing like a mix of elements, but if it's been Earth for the majority of the heroes that have been released. But then like in PvP, it's going to be light and dark is going to be very prominent in PvP, high-end PvP, so you wouldn't have to worry about elemental disadvantage. She won't be viable as a damage dealer unless you rely on defense break. Like I talked about, pretty much anyone in the game could be a damage dealer if you have the right setup. So just like, I don't think it's going to be worth it, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be worth it. She could be that extra bit of damage she could be that sort of like a second cleaver, because you could dispel, have the attack buff, then your defense breaker, and then you would have your main cleaver, and she comes in for the cleanup. But she has to wait a full turn because she's not getting combat readiness from her skill 3, or she would need another hero to push her ahead, like just like a green Lots. So that could be something. You could have some fun with something like that. But in terms of damage with her base attack, she doesn't have attack memory imprint. She doesn't have the greatest of multipliers. She doesn't have a soul burn that boosts her damage. Then like, I don't see it as being viable. There's so much, like there's many heroes that are much better damage dealers, better cleavers than her. Of course, she's like, she's not even in that league. She shouldn't be called a cleaver, even if she has 2 AoE damage dealer damage skills. So yeah, the randomness of the debuffs on skill number 1 will allow you to win battles. Like I talked about, defense break, silence, unhealable, and attack break definitely can come in very handy at the right time. It does land, you get the defense break, whatever, and then you would like pop your soul burn, you would, you know, pop your skill 3 or whatever on your other heroes. You're just saving souls for that very moment to make it happen. And that could be it. Yes, it could be a win condition, assuming she is alive. She's still alive, because she needs speed, effectiveness, health, defense. Then you wouldn't have effect resistance, so you don't really want defense on her at all, unless you're gonna have immunity buff on the team, because if she gets defense broken, you get more value out of health. So yeah, it's quite a few things now. You can use her in a setup to kill with Specimen Says, or I mean, just use her stun for crowd control. It's gonna buy you time, and it gives you some room to breathe. You can wait for your heal to come back or whatever, or set up your next burst damage. Very helpful. I mean, a stun. Like I said, she's very versatile. She fills multiple roles with her kit. I mean, strip 2 buffs. That is very good right there. If you go first, that's the thing. Because when you go first against a team with Fallen Cecilia, barrier immunity, it's gone, right? Assuming there's no 15% innate resist kicking in, and you didn't get resisted because your effectiveness is well, you actually have a lot of effectiveness. Maybe you're using her own artifact. So yeah, assuming everything is working as planned, and then you got the attack buff for 3 turns, 4-turn cooldown on that, which is nice. Then you got the AoE stun following up, but maybe she's already dead because the enemy team went and you didn't get any CR push after using skill 3. You might need to rely upon another hero to bring her up, or maybe you're just that much faster than the enemy team. I don't know, you're doubling their speed or something. Dangerous debuffs on skill 1 randomly applied. So I mean, yeah, quite a few things going on with this hero. All her skills deal damage, so they have a 50% chance to miss versus fire element, which is what I talked about before. So it is something else to worry about. I mean, it's not a hero you're going to be able to just pick early on in World Arena, let's say. You have to pick her near the end because they could just start picking a bunch of fire heroes. But overall, I can't wait to try this hero out on my second account and see how she performs. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull her artifact. We'll just have to wait and see if I get lucky with that. But if not, I might just drop a Curse Compass on her. Not quite sure, but Curse Compass loses value. This is actually a very good artifact. For pure like stat, yeah, it's actually pretty good. So hopefully I can get 1 copy. But it's going to be between 25% and 50% when you have it at plus 15 with just 1 copy. So 37, 38, 38% I think effectiveness. I mean, it's not bad. Curse Compass is what, 60% effectiveness on turn 1? It does depend. Do you need to heavily rely on that skill 3 if she's built full on speed? Another thing you could do is she could be that C-Dom opener. You open with her 100% crit chance. Challenger Domino could be the next one to go. And then you do have now the attack buff for 3 turns for your team. You got the crit chance buff. And C-Dom could have popped someone. And that's your opener. That's 2 heroes. You still have 2 other heroes in your roster. So you're getting 20% CR push with C-Dom. That means your other 2 heroes, they could be built for speed, but yes, if you don't have another combat train as booster, and if you don't have a ranger with a Sash I-10 in the team, then you will need to have pretty high speed on your other 2 damage dealers. But yeah, it could be a very interesting play there. So yeah, she does enable C-Dom, which is cool with 115 base speed. So that's another thing to look forward. And also something to look again, like in World Arena, if someone's picking her and then with C-Dom, you have to worry about that. C-Dom is definitely a hero that is banned a lot in World Arena. But yeah, that's definitely something that could be fun. Unfortunately, I don't have Challenger Domino on my account number 2. I don't have her. So could not test that out for you guys. But I'm sure you guys will, you know, test different things, have fun with this hero. And like I said, I'll be pulling, so expect the showcase, and I wouldn't pull until I would see it in action, especially if you don't have so many Covenant bookmarks. But yeah, save like minimum like 400 Covenant bookmarks for, let's say, a limited banner that would show up like very soon or something like that. At least 400, you could grind out the rest to reach 605 if you get unlucky. But that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon to be notified whenever I release a new video. And check out my other videos. They should be showing up on the screen now. I got playlists of all sorts for PvE and PvP, Arena, Guild Wars, guide tips and how-tos, and Abyss Floor 62+, as well as best starter guides for my early to mid-game players. Over almost 2,000 people on my Discord. So join us up. So the scammer's back here. Actually, I believe the only thing that is worth buying here is the Mystic Metals. 4 times per account. I don't even buy them normally, but the value is not bad. If you do Secret Shop refresh, it's gonna end up costing you more Skystone, but you have chance for bookmarks. So yeah. Oh, and the leaves. The leaves are on a discount in Hooshes, so you should always buy them when they show up. It's a small discount, save a few Skystones, but better than nothing. Also, I got a second account. A second YouTube channel for Epic 7 for content I cannot post on my first channel because it's just gonna be too much. So I invite you guys to just go there, subscribe, check it out. It's gonna be PvP Guild Wars across my 3 accounts, World Arena climbs with picking phase. I will not edit those videos. So yeah, and there will be like additional arena videos and just content, like a bunch of content that just like I feel is too much for the first channel. I don't want to post like multiple videos, like too many videos in one day. So yeah, and subscribe guys, and if you still haven't pressed the bell notification so you can get alerted whenever I release a new video. And that's the reason why I don't want to post so many videos and annoy my my viewers. I don't want to have too many in one day and like you guys can't keep up. So that's why there's that second channel for my hardcore watchers. And yeah, anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Good luck with all you do. I'm Astranox. Peace out for now and stay tuned for the showcases.